Hey everyone, how you doing? So, Sunflower in Plants vs. Zombies. She is definitely one of the more well-known characters here, that's for sure. In fact, she might be the most well-known, besides maybe Peashooter, Crazy Dave, the Brown Coat Zombie, and maybe Zomboss. So with that being said, I bet a few of you have gotten curious about something, which is how much Sunflower is there across the franchise? Or am I just somebody with too much free time? Well, in any case, that's today's topic. We're going to count up every single Sunflower in the franchise. From the games, including the Chinese ones, to the comics, and hell, if they have a name in some merch, sure, we'll try to count them too. Basically, I just want to see how far this franchise went in terms of Sunflower iterations and copies. Now, with that in mind, the criteria for these to count is a little weird. Like, obviously they have to be a sunflower or a flower of that type, but depending on the game, they also have to produce sun as well, just to be safe. So, with that out of the way, we'll start with what's going to be the easiest to knock out. That being... Alright, so the international releases don't have too much going on. I think that's a safe bet to make. Like, yeah, of course there's a lot of sunflowers, but compared to the likes of Peashooter, yeah, not nearly as much. Still though, we will go through the list, and this time around, I am digging almost too far for these. So bear with me here, some of these may just be technicalities. Sunflower, twin sunflower, and imitated sunflower are basically the main three here, unless you want to count the singing sunflower too. That one's iffy, but you can if you want. PVZ Adventures only adds power flower, which yes, is a real thing, and it's also different from the Garden Warfare variant. Okay then. PVZ2 shockingly only adds one new type, Primal Sunflower, and this one really surprises me because I feel like PVZ2 really enjoys making clones of certain plants, but I guess there's only so many sun producers that can be made before you run out of ideas. That didn't stop China, but we'll get there. The Garden Warfare games add quite a few, those being in no particular order: Mystic Flower, Power Flower, Fire Flower, Shadow Flower, Metal Petal, Sun Varroa, Alien Flower, Vampire Flower, and Stuffy Flower. But we do have a couple more. If you really want to count these, the Lighthouse Guardian counts, as well as the Sunflower Queen and the Hypnoflower Queen. These are all sunflowers by design, so I think they count. Before moving on to BFN, Heroes also adds a few new sunflowers. Those would be Solar Flare, Metal Petal Sunflower, and Cosmic Sunflower. This Metal Petal is one that I do count differently, since it has a different name, and it also produces sun, which Garden Warfare Metal Petal cannot do. And finally, for BFN, we have Ginger Sunflower, Solar Eclipse, Sunshine Rocketeer, Sun Monarch, Sunny Cat, and Flesh Flower. These are all considered unique because the flavor text for BFN's outfits imply that every outfit is a different character for the most part. And to round it all out, we also have Sergeant Sunny, who is terrifying. We're not going to count PVZ3 or PVZ Match here, but even if we did, we wouldn't have any new plants to talk about, so we'll move on. Next, we'll be diving in a little bit deeper to the section that kind of scares me a little bit. Yeah, next we're exploring... Oh no, the Chinese games. Well, you guys already know how I feel about these. My highest viewed video is a video where I talk about just a few Chinese games for half an hour. Oh no. Now, to kind of save face a little bit here, I should warn you all that the Chinese games are just something. There are so many of them, some of which we can't even confirm being official games, or we have almost no footage of them. So this section is gonna be a mess. I had to look through so many games, and I'm tired. But in any case, let's talk Chinese PVZ. I'm going to start with the games here that actually have easy to access information. So basically, any of the non-mini program games are going to be discussed immediately. For 2C, The Big Fish, we actually don't have a whole lot to say. There's Sunflower Singer, and that's it. Wow, that is shockingly simple. And just knocking out some of the other big games here, we don't actually have that much more to cover. PVZ All-Stars has Triplet Sunflower, which is an evolution of Twin Sunflower in that game. PVZ Endless Edition has the Monk Sunflower, which is a hero type in this game. Okay. And finally, PVZ Magic Book has this absolutely horrifying 3D sunflower. Okay, I'll admit, it's not different, but my god, it might as well be. That is not okay. But those were the big ones to cover. Unfortunately, we're not done here. The mini program games exist, and this is kind of where my problem lies with getting good information. So if I end up missing a sunflower, I apologize profusely, but take a look at how many of these don't have articles. How am I going to cover them if I don't even know what they're about? But okay, with that in mind, going in order of the known games that have like any accessible information, PVZ2 Tang Ping technically has 3 different sunflowers. They're all just costumes, but these are considered evolutions in the game. They also have unique names, so they can count. PVZ2 Fantasy has a really weird render of Sunflower, and because it's so different, I'm throwing it into the video. And oh no, PVZ Evolve has a Sunflower Girl. Oh, this is weird. Nope, we're moving on. Admittedly, there's not a whole lot in the Chinese games, like much less than I thought there would be. But with that being said, we still have more to discuss. So let's keep trucking on towards okay, so this is the section that's kind of the last hurdle, and there is some stuff to get through, so let's dive in. So I'll admit that I'm not very knowledgeable on the lore of the comics or anything. I think I've only read one, so bear that in mind. With that being said, we still actually have a couple of unique sunflowers, those being Flowerbot and Fred the Sunflower. If we were just talking about the international comics. No, the Chinese books are kind of a different story. There are so many of these, and unfortunately, they are really obscure. Like, to the point where only about 11 of the, 100 plus have any information online. Now, with that being said, apparently Power Flower makes an appearance in a few of the books. However, I don't know if this is actually Power Flower, or if it's some random Chinese plant that just has an English translation of Power Flower. So I can't even prove if this thing is real. Now, as for the merchandise, there's so much here. I'm just gonna kind of go through a list. Starting off, we have a Funko Pop of a sunflower, an official plush sunflower, a K-Nex figure sunflower, and Power Flower for real this time. Very neat. We apparently have a super rare sunflower coin purse, which I didn't know existed until now. And also there's a pillow, keychain, phone holder, and oh god, there's actually a lot here. Some of these are made by multiple companies too. That's I don't know what to say. Oh, but don't worry, we have a hand warmer. Yeah, because that's exactly what I was looking for. Yeah, I'm not sure how much further I can go with the merchandise, so instead of me telling you, how about I show you this? This is the link to the PVZ Plush Wiki, which documents a whole lot of crap, and the keyword typed is sunflower. Knock yourself out. Don't like how I'm doing this video? Well, you watched until this point. So, yeah, I apologize for getting sloppy at the tail end. I tried looking for any other sunflowers, but yeah, I found nothing. So with that being said, how many sunflowers are we working with total? Well, if we're being super generous with the stuff that we know about, we would have 38. All of the Chinese stuff counts when I'm accounting for that, as well as Metal Petal and PVZ Heroes. So that's actually quite a small list. Though when we get to the alternate media and merchandise, the answer is much harder to distinguish. Yeah, sorry about that. Unfortunately, I don't think I could ever provide a satisfying answer to that question. But in any case, that's the video. I know this concept was a little bit goofy, but I wanted to make a spiritual successor to the 10K video. And seeing as how Sunflower was actually initially up on my list, I figured I would just go ahead and make it a more unique video. So it all worked out in the end. Now with that being said, I could have missed somebody. And realistically, I probably did. So let me know in the comments down below if you know. Also, I'd like to give some real quick shoutouts to Gravitry, Aldenity for Omens, Watfa, and Skylar the Unicorn for being $5 supporters of my channel. Thank you all so much, you rock. Now, as for me, I'm gonna go ahead and try to unlearn the existence of 3D Sunflower. So I'll see you all in my next video. Thank you all for 20,000 subscribers, and peace.